They've got to win this, they've got to get second, third and fourth. It's got to be all orange and not blue. We're on board with Luke Bannister, and the drones are coming together in that tower, but Bannister has managed to bounce his cleanly and recover it. Collis looks like he's down. Kylian Rousseau may be finished here as well. And if Harima is out, so are DMM Raiden Racing, because Koyama and Lenkon are up front. Bannister and Kent are there. It needs to be orange, 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 and orange. And X-Blades Racing are going to stop them getting 4. And all 5 points that come with it. Or are they? It's looking like we might have all of the DMM Raiden Racing back in the air. And up front, it's looking first, second, and third for now. Luke Bannister, though, doesn't like the look of that and wants to mix it up. He'll take second from them. Lenkon. And both drones take to the Italian sky with not very much between them. And there's first sights in racing of our Torino tower. You go round at 360 degrees one way, 180 back the other way, and then through the bottom, and then it's a split S over the I-time gate. And these pilots side by side will go around the pylon and find out that there's only just about a tenth of a second between them as they attack our longest straight we've ever had. Then you come through that DCL closed air gate, and Koch starts to pull away around the tower. He'll come through the middle of it, turn left and do a 180 back the other way and come through the bottom, and then over the I-time gate, split S it and come back, and Heo is starting, well, maybe starting to close it back on him, but he's got to start pulling it together now. We are on 1 and a bit seconds between them, but Heo has come down into the netting. Away we go, and fast to the Torino tower. Peterson's with the lead, but on the exit of that, Go has got it from him. It's a mirror image almost of the approaches to the I-time gate, but it's looking all red. Now, Peterson's has got this and extended away from Go after he had trouble with the pylon after the I-time gate. So Peterson's was 1.65. It's now over 2. Peterson's pulling away. Go's got to pull it back. He's capable of doing it. He's got 4 wins out of 5 in single heats. Peterson's heads up to the midpoint of lap number 2, and Go is pulled quite a bit back, but it's got a lot more to do. Remember, it's only 2 laps this evening. Peterson's going for the dive. Go's going to take 1 second out of him right now. The final turn is here. Peterson's is home. Go is in at speed. Sean Taylor, welcome to us. Glad to have you with us as well. We're in the air with the Shack and Mortenzin, and this is looking like it could be a really tight battle between them. They'll come out of the Torino tower the first time, and then the Shack will extend it on the second. Split S through I-time is his, and he'll start to pull away. Mortenzin, a very, very fast young Australian pilot, but 0.85. There's that number again between these two. The Shack is getting flagged up as maybe having gone on a wrong flight. That's what the WF is for. Maybe he's missed a turn or a gate. That'll get checked by our spotters. And Mortenzin is somehow managing to be some way behind him now, but that gap is getting sorted out. It's a confident young Ben who's going to try and chase down the Shack. As they come towards the end of the second lap, there's no way he's 5 seconds behind him. The Shack onto lap number 3, and Mortenzin 1.25. That's something he can deal with, but he's starting to run out of time for it. He's going to have to aggressively attack that split S, and he does. Very fast right-hand turn out of it to try and close that gap. He's narrow on the pylon on the exit. He's taken a quarter of a second out, but he's got 1 more to go. The Shack comes to the end of the straight. DCL, it's the Brightling gate after that, and then a hard right turn. Mortensen's pulling it towards him, but has crashed it. And so has the Shack. Both the goggles up. I think this race is over. That's a quick start for Collis. Usually he's second out of the blocks and he likes to pass people shortly afterwards. Past Koyama wherever it happens. And that is very high exit from the I-time gate and a very low exit from the gate, which got Koyama into the lead, and Collis is third of a second behind him. That was brilliant flying from Koyama out of that. Brett Collis will have a view of him now as we head towards the Torino tower. The big 360 around it, through it, and then back the other way and through it again. Collis is still behind Koyama. We'll get both of them taking the split S. This is great work from Collis. He's not getting past Koyama. He's 1300ths of a second behind. There's a fantastic view of how aggressive they are. This is the last part of the track. Koyama's down. Collis is home. Out of the Torino tower, Koyama makes the split S over I-time because Solopov is behind him, not far behind him, but looking like getting increasingly further behind him. It's nearly 2 seconds, which is a big surprise for just one part of the first lap between these two pilots. Koyama has got speed today. Kosolopov maybe isn't showing us all that his drone can do, because they were very fast in Switzerland. It's 3 laps of this, remember, so plenty of time for Kosolopov to try and close this gap, but it isn't looking like it's closing. We'll find out as we make this pylon turn over our audience here. It's still just over 2 seconds, hasn't really changed. Konstantin Kosolopov's view here as he completes the straights. He won't really see Koyama. Koyama's a little bit too far ahead of making the turn through the tower, but maybe Kosolopov is starting to get this done. That looks like it's closing though, a bit less than 2 seconds now as the I-time split S gate is all right for both of them, but Kosolopov is on the attack. Around the DCL gate, he's caught up by most of a second, but he doesn't have a lot less to get the other second away, and as he'll head out on the street, Koyama is not so far ahead of him now. Through the Breitling gate, it's less than a second, but it's still quite a lot. Holdox with fractionally better starts. And remaining there and extending it a little bit towards I-time. They'll come reasonably fast, but not the fastest time we've seen on split S turns there. Half second between them, but that is not hanging around. This is the exit of the straights. Much closer together at that side, which would suggest that there's a little bit of a straight line speed difference between these two drones. It's now in the hands of Bigal, who is leading away. And if that is straight line speed in his favor, then he is gonna go now. Holden's keeping with him. If anything, Holden is catching him. Maybe he's flying that straight away a little bit more aggressive than last time. We're on to the 3rd lap now, and there's not much in it between these pilots. This may be the best race we've had today. Out of the tunnel, they'll both come. And Virgil has hit the exit of the I-time gate, spun it lights out onto the ground. That is such a shame. This season. Of course, Gary Kitt's crashed there, not like him. And first point goes to Apex because of it, rather than a longer race with Trowbridge. Koch and Collis are here on course. Koch with the lead. Collis being flagged as a wrong flight. It's maybe gone away. I think he certainly made that pylon turn, but maybe it was an earlier part of the course. That'll get reviewed. Meanwhile, we'll enjoy the race because Collis has passed Koch now. And it's their second time through the tower, and Koch is coming for him. Noah against Brett, but Brett looks like he's going to pull away. We've not seen enough of Noah Koch, really. Let's see what he can do here. This race is going to get reviewed. That Brett has perhaps messed this track up and made a little bit of a mistake or turn. Koch is coming at speed at the end and into the bottom of the crash gate. And a brilliant reaction time from both of them. 1600ths and 2100ths of a second. There was Peterson with the better of them, and Eric Holden is with him. Look at that, so close on the I-time gates. Peterson's and Holden both taking a big, wide entry into the straight. Not any of those kind of stop and start turns, which caused some problems for pilots earlier on. They both swung around for it. A bit of a higher exit for Peterson's of the straight than Holden, and it's just 300ths of a second between the two of them. Peterson's has the lead. I think Holden is somewhere very close to him. There it is. It's barely a lead to talk about. Holden on the inside of that turn. This is absolutely brilliant racing from them. Holden coming down the straight. He's going to attack this. We saw Peterson attack it earlier on. It's all going to come down to this final turn right now. And Holden gets it. Holden Rousseau will come. This could be an amazing scrap. You've already seen a bit of what Eric Holden can do, while Rousseau can see him as well. And Rousseau takes the lead to the midpoint of the first lap and starts the straight. And Holden is a second behind him, which is quite a long way for Holden against an amazing pilot like Rousseau. You're going to need to show us what you can do on those turns. Well, he is. He's almost with him right now. The Torino Tower is where these two pilots are going to fly it out. Holden hasn't got him yet. Split S is on the I-time gates and away. And Rousseau has the lead again into the straight, and Holden isn't quite as far behind as he was on lap number 1. You see him gaining on him now. It's all going to come to this part at the end of lap 2. Holden aggressively attacking. Got the lead from him. It was twitchy, but he's made it.
Fantastic performance by